All right, guys, I am back. You've seen this in the background of some of my videos lately, but wanted to talk a little bit about it. The 2019 that I had, the standard body, the white one, I just traded it on this one. This is a 2020 wide body, so just wanted to cover for you a few of the things that are different about the wide body versus the standard body Scat Packs. So one thing to start with is you're going to lose the fog lamps that you get on, or the driving lights I should say, that you get on the standard body. They swap those out for some ducts that are functional, that help cool the brakes. Also, you're going to see right here the grill is different. On the regular body, you have the vents that are right here, that I thought looked kind of cool, but they get rid of those on these, and then they give you an air duct here. So those are a couple of things that are different. Another thing is you're getting these, and it just doesn't do it justice getting it on film, but these things are just like massively fat, these tires. They are so fat. So on the regular Scat Pack, you get a 245, which is slightly narrower than 10 inches. And then on these, you get a 305. So you're getting essentially a 12-inch wide tire. I mean, they are massive. They look a lot wider in person for some reason than they do when you get a picture of them or get them on film. So then another thing you get is you get these massive 6-piston Brimbos on the front, where the standard Scat Pack has 4-piston Brimbos. Your brake rotor is almost 2 inches bigger, and it is a 2-piece, so it dissipates heat better. So then also along with that, you get the flared out fender, so you do get extra inches of width here. Helps tuck the tires up under it. You get a little bit firmer sway bars. You also get the Bilstein active suspension, so the computer is monitoring. So it can help you, give you a nicer ride when you don't need it, and a stiffer ride when you are trying to corner hard, things like that. So that's basically what you get when you get the wide body. The published numbers are slightly quicker on the standard body Scat Pack. Maybe 1/10 of a second, 0 to 60, and maybe 1 to 2/10 in a quarter mile. I think that would certainly be cars with slicks, not with the street tires, because you have so much more rubber meeting the road with the wide bodies. Your times are going to be quite a bit better on the street, in my opinion. I did do some testing with this yesterday. It's only, I've only had it less than 2 weeks, and it's got like 700 miles on it, so trying not to be ridiculous with it, but I did some 0 to 60 runs yesterday with it, and my 0 to 60 runs in my white, the 19, was 4.6 was the best time I'd ever produced in that car, which is not shabby at all, but it just goes to a lack of grip, because that thing will just, with 245s, I could, on a lot of streets, I could break the tires loose at 45 miles an hour if I laid into it. So, and have broken the tires loose at speeds higher than that, even on dry pavement. So, but with the wider tires on the street, I think you're going to get better launches. And I ran 3 runs yesterday, and one of those runs, I just lit the tires up. It just, even though they're 305s, these are like massive steamrollers, it just absolutely roasted the tires. And it showed a 0 to 60 in 1.9. Well, I know, obviously it didn't do that, So it just was spinning the tires that hard that I hit 60 miles per hour and was not even going anywhere hardly. So I once I kind of tinkered with it and set up my custom mode. Those of you that have these, you can set a custom mode. You have track, you have sport, you have custom, and then you have one that's basically an eco mode. It's called auto, but it's basically an economy mode. The custom mode, I tinkered with it, came up with some settings, and I ran a 4.2, so just on my third run. So the extra grip made a huge difference. I mean, that's 4/10 better than all the 10 months I had the white one. I'd run, I don't know, 10, 15 times, not a whole lot, but enough to get a 4.6 is my best number. And then I outdid it by 4/10 yesterday on only the third time I'd ever done it in this. So that extra grip is massive. It also is massive in the cornering. Now, you don't feel it significantly. There is difference when you're throwing it into a corner, but it's not significant feel-wise. And I think the active suspension is part of the reason why you don't feel it as much. But they're saying these cars will push nearly 1G. And that's crazy with a 4,400 pound car to think about, pushing near 1G. I haven't tried to push it real hard. I pushed a 0.84 already without pushing it too hard at all. So it's got a lot more capability than that. I don't know if we'll get the 1G or not, like what I've heard, but because that's a stout number. But 0.84 without really trying too hard is a pretty impressive number. So the big question of the hour is the wide body package worth the extra price tag? Because it is a hefty price tag for that, to get the wide body. It's is it worth it? That's the question. I think for me it comes down to, number one, can you afford it? So the price of the package at 3% interest over a 6-year term, that's almost $100 a month additional to the car payment. So, because it's a $6,000 option. Yeah, you get a lot of goodies for that. But I think it comes down to, can you swing the extra $100 a month for that option? So it's a bit of practicality with it. If you can, then it kind of comes down to, weighing it out. How much more performance, is worth $100 a month is kind of what it comes down to. Or is it just the style? I mean, a lot of people are attracted to this wide body style. At first I was, no big deal. And it is growing on me. The wide body looks lower and meaner, and it doesn't really sit any lower, but it looks like it does. Because of that wideness to the body makes the car look lower, and it's just a pretty cool look. So, for most people, it's going to be more about the look of it, but you get a lot of performance goodies with it. I think you get some safety aspect as well, because those 245s, there's a lot of people wrecking these cars. I mean, you got nearly 500 foot-pound of torque, and you get nearly 500 horsepower out of these cars. That's a lot. And most people, let me take that back. Many people just cannot handle that kind of power, particularly if they haven't had a lot of experience driving with that kind of power. So, that's something to be considered. The 305 during normal driving gives you a lot better grip. You don't have nearly the wheel spin in normal driving when you've got the 305s versus those 245s. So that's something to consider. I think there are some safety aspects to it, and if you can afford, that extra bit in payment, then then I think it's something worth looking at. So anyway, that's something, you know, each person's got to answer for themselves. I found the standard body to be a little more fun to drive, just because it was a little more on edge. So it did make for a little bit more fun, adventurous, I guess is the better word, more adventurous drive. So you know, it all depends what you want. So that's, you know, everybody individually their own decisions what they want to do. I would have never done this had I not gotten such a great deal on my trade. I got a great deal on the purchases of the 19 to begin with. I got exceptional deal. But when I went to trade it, it the value was just, it was crazy. For one, you can't get any Scat Packs right now, or it's very difficult to find a Scat Pack. So they are selling used Scat Packs like crazy, and they are willing to pay an absolute premium to get them. So if you're trading one, this is a wonderful time to trade. The problem is, can you find, you know, one on the lot if that's what you want to trade up to? But I ended up trading mine for thousands of dollars more than I even paid for it, which is just nuts to think about. I've never seen that before in my life, and I've bought probably 20 cars in my life, and I've never, you know, experienced anything like that before. So pretty interesting, the world that we're living in right now. So anyway, I guess that's just about it for now. If you have any questions, comments, you know, please leave them below. I would really appreciate, you know, anybody with any questions. You know, I'd love to answer them for you. Also, I'd appreciate everyone giving a thumbs up, and please subscribe. My subscribership is growing pretty quickly, over 1 sub a day, which for just a little guy, it's only been doing this a matter of months. That's for me very impressive, and I appreciate it so much. And to have over 10,000 views per month now is just humbling and mind-blowing, to be honest with you. So if we can just start getting some of those folks that are watching this, you know, to start subscribing a little bit, you know, if we could get some of those over 10,000 people that are watching every month, if we get a little more percentage of people hitting the subscribe button, we could be doing some pretty cool numbers here. So anyway, I appreciate everybody. Have a great day, and we will catch you next time on Dad's Garage.